So one thing that we get asked from time to time is how to set up a form which has the ability to add a member to multiple MemberPress levels simultaneously through one submission. So we're going to set that up right now and show you the way to do that. Now it's a little complex, and there's reasons that we have to do it this way because of some of the limitations of Gravity Forms. One of those is that the pricing fields, which is what most people use when using our plugin GravityPress, there's a limitation here, and I'll show you this. If we, as seen in some of our other setup videos, if we bring in a product field here, it would be nice if there was an option to use like a checkbox. You can see here like there's a checkbox field, right? Where you could have the member, as they're signing up, you could have them check all three boxes, let's say all three different levels. That doesn't exist, unfortunately, in the pricing options. So you can see if you create a pricing field, there's single product, there's drop down, there's radio, but you can see there's no checkbox option here, and that's one of the limitations of Gravity Forms that prevents us from easily utilizing like a checkbox system to just basically add a user to the different levels selected. So what we're going to do instead is a bit of a workaround. Now first, let's just create one scenario in which you're going to charge one price for membership. We'll call this membership. Let's charge $100, let's say. Keep it as a, sorry, $100. We'll keep it as a single product for simplicity's sake. But let's say with this membership that you'd like to add a user to two MemberPress levels simultaneously when they check out for the single product. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to first update this. Now let's quickly check out our MemberPress levels that we have available. So if I go up here and let's check out the MemberPress levels again, we have a bronze, a gold, and a silver. And we actually have the bronze as a free level. And then we also want to make sure that when someone checks out for, let's say, $100, one price of $100, we're going to give them a combo of the bronze free membership as well as the silver. I know that the prices don't match up here, and I'm sorry about that, but this is just for an example. It's not in real life. Obviously, your prices would probably match up to what you're going to be charging them on the form. And so let's say, again, we're going to use this product field for the price and checkout version of it, aspect of this form. We can bring the total down here. Then what we're going to do is simply bring in, I'm going to use a drop down for the two levels I want. So actually what I'll do first is I want to first add them to the bronze level automatically. And then I'm just going to delete any other choices and just make it bronze. Then, as per our other tutorial videos, I'm going to want to make sure that the value matches the MemberPress level. So I can either go grab that ID here, or I can just go into the bulk add, go down here and just grab it right there. Now, again, I'm going to get rid of the ones I don't want. I noticed that membership is spelled wrong here, so fix that there. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to make sure that this is checked. This is highlighted because what I'm actually going to do is hide this field. I don't want it to show up to the user, to the member. I just want this to be hidden, and it's automatically going to add this person to the bronze membership when they check out. And then I'm just going to duplicate this because I also want to add them to the silver one as well. And then here I'll just go up and grab the silver ID, which is 198, just a different method of doing this. So this one also will be hidden. because I want to make sure this is hidden. This is great. So now what is happening is that we have the potential to add, when someone checks out for this $100, they're going to be added automatically to these so long as we set up our MemberPress feeds. Now in the other tutorials I've gone over this in more detail, but I'm just going to show you real quick. Basically I need to set up some feeds here. So let's create our first feed, and I'm just going to put this at like 5, make sure this is 5. Now here I'm going to select the bronze, and what that will mean is that I'm choosing bronze because I want to make sure that whenever this form is submitted, the bronze level is chosen. And I'm going to add another one for silver. Call this one 6. Again, you can learn more about this, how to set up feeds, in the other main tutorial videos. I'm just going to leave the default settings here. So now I've got 2 feeds, and what will happen now is that when someone checks out for this form, put their name, their email address, check out, in the background what's going to be happening is that because those hidden fields are there, and because of our feeds here, that user, this new member, will be added to both levels simultaneously. So that's sort of the first demo. Now let's say that we want to give an option to the user about which levels they want to be added to or they want to pay for. So this becomes a little more complex, but what we can do is let's incorporate the gold level as well. I just duplicated that drop down. I'm going to put the gold here and gold here, and I'm just going to make sure I have the right membership ID. Gold is 200. All right, so now I've got gold in the picture. Now again, this I need to add a feed here. So what I'll do is actually go into, again, the feed, MemberPress feeds area. I'm going to add another one. I'll call this 7, and I'll add the gold one. So now, again, if I were to submit this form, then it would add me to all 3 levels, or add the new member to all 3 levels. But what I want to do is give the user an option of which levels they can choose from. Now this becomes kind of difficult with a product field because, again, product fields in Gravity Forms don't allow a very easy way for the customer to choose multiple product selections at once. There's no checkbox, as I mentioned earlier. So actually what we're going to do is just, for now, we'll keep this as a one-time fee of $100, but we want to add a checkbox about which levels we want to let that user check out for. So we'll just say choose level, and then we'll make this bronze, silver, and gold. Now it doesn't matter so much that these match up to the MemberPress level IDs here, because this is not going to be used for our plugin to make that connection. It's just basically for the user to select which levels they're interested in. So now we have bronze, silver, and gold. And now what we want to do is a bit of a trick here where we go into each field and we add a condition. We basically say only show this, only basically enable this, not even show it, but enable this if level is bronze, silver, show it if level, or choose level is silver, and show if level is gold. So what we've effectively done is provided the ability for this person who's checking out now to select which levels they want to be added to. So I can choose bronze and gold, and once I pay my $100, you can make this required, let's say, then once I pay that, I will be added to only the bronze and the gold, but simultaneously I could also have another combo where I could just do silver and gold, and again, the user will be added to those levels simultaneously. Now, some of you might be asking, okay, this is great, but what if I actually want to charge different amounts for different levels and have that user select this all at once? Okay, so we're going to do a quick demonstration of this, and this is sort of, again, there's limitations with Gravity Forms in terms of the checkout possibilities because of this lack of checkboxing. So the way we're going to fix this is, instead of, going with a single product, we're going to change this to a calculation. And then I'm going to disable quantity field because it just gets in the way. But what I want to do basically up here in this field, this is like a box we're going to allow the customer to select the level that they want, right? So let's just do this. Let's add prices here. So yeah, it's going to ask me, do I want to change this? Is it going to affect the dependencies down below? So we'll have to look at that. So let me just go in and I'll just say this is going to be $10. Just say yes again. This is going to be 20, and yes, this will be $30. Oops. All right, so there we go. Then in the values, we're actually just going to put the actual numbers there. Oops, really wants to make sure I understand. Yes. All right, so $30. So these will be the values. Now, I've just messed up my conditions down here. So just, again, those warnings were telling me that those conditions are now messed up. So I just need to go down here and fix these. This should now be there. This should now be silver 20, and this should be gold 30. There we go. Now those conditions are fixed. Great. These now have values here. And then I'm just going to do basically a calculation here. I'm going to basically go to formula. I'm going to insert bronze plus silver plus gold. And what this will do is affect the total depending on which checkboxes were checked by the member, or by my new member. So if I update that and I go to preview, let me close that one, go to preview, we can now see that if I check bronze, it affects the total. If I add silver, you can see 10, 20, now we have 30, and if I add gold, now we have 60. So you can see that the price changes with that calculation pretty nicely. And then of course, because of these hidden fields down here, which show up depending on which one was selected, they'll be added to the levels that were selected here. Now I don't need to show my calculation actually. It's kind of like I could either get rid of total or I could get rid of level. So it's up to me actually. Maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll just get rid of total just for simplicity's sake. And then I can call it something like amount. I could call this total, or I could call this amount. Basically, this will be my calculation field, but I just didn't want to have redundancy here. That way, now we have the amount. So again, boom, boom, boom. So again, this is how we can set up a form that's pretty flexible. It looks really simple from the form itself, to your user, to your customer. but in the back end, it's doing a lot of complicated stuff. It's creating a calculation. It's driving the price change. And of course, I would add a credit card here or PayPal or something like that for checkout. But on the back end, because of these fields, as I mentioned, these are through MemberPress, they're adding members to those levels depending on which ones they selected. All right, so hopefully that makes sense, giving you a few different options on how you can add members to levels simultaneously in one checkout form. If you have any questions, always let us know. We're happy to help out with these.